You're tuned to NobidadeTV, a Cape Verdean production.
Alô, alô, against bem-vindos a mais uma edição de NobidadeTV, a minha Luis da Silva Lopes. Nós também apanhamos hoje ali da igreja de São Michael, na Providence, onde nós também assistimos uma reunião sobre imigração. Então, vamos continuar conosco.
I want you to understand that there is true power in you coming together here tonight. Now there is a little something different. I was invited once by this community, I was invited twice, and this time something a little different happened. Just to show you the kinds of gains and transformation that is going on in the immigration debate and discussion here in this country. You have invited me once, you have invited me twice. This time, a new member of the House Judiciary Committee where this will be debated and discussed. I'm coming to Providence, Rhode Island, and Congressman Cicilline gets a seat, elected to a seat by his Democratic colleague, a seat on the House Judiciary. I actually don't believe in coincidences. I think things happen for a reason. And your congressman came to me. Your congressman came to me, and he said, Luis, will you come and visit with me in Providence, Rhode Island? He is a fighter for immigrants. He is a fighter for justice, and I am proud to stand with him here in Providence, Rhode Island. You guys remember when I was here 5 years ago? We couldn't get half the Democrats to sign on to comprehensive immigration reform. And while the deportations were going on at 2 million in the last 5 years, 2 millones de personas deportadas. In August, DACA may technically expire, but I assure you that the President of the United States is going to reauthorize DACA, and as long as he's President of the United States, and as long as there are people like him in the White House, we will continue to put you in a safe and protected place. I had a wonderful experience in evaluating my own life. And as I evaluated my own life, I came to a keen understanding. Porque mucha gente me pregunta, pero si tú eres puertorriqueño, ¿por qué? Si tú eres ciudadano, ¿por qué? Si tú y los tuyos han sido ciudadanos desde el principio, ¿por qué? Porque mi mamá y mi papá y millones de puertorriqueños huyeron de la isla de Puerto Rico como migrantes de este país buscando un mejor porvenir y no había nadie que levantara su voz en su defensa. No había nadie que levantara su voz, pero criaron un hijo y nosotros no vamos a permitir que se repita la historia. Levantaré mi voz siempre y cuando el pueblo lo necesita, especialmente aquellos de nuestra comunidad. What's the good news of today? The good news of today is that 13, 14 months ago, Congressman Cicilline and we were fighting to re-elect Barack Obama President of the United States. And this was the Republican. The Democratic position is, well, we should do comprehensive immigration reform. We should have a fair, sane, sensible, compassionate system that unites families and respects the integrity of families. The Republican position was, we should just, 11 million undocumented workers in this country, why don't they just all self-report, go home and pack your bags and leave? They said we should replicate SB 1070, the anti-immigration law, show me your papers, of Arizona. And we should do that in 49 other states. And then they said, I still remember their candidate for president saying, what? If you present me the DREAM Act as President of the United States, he said he would veto it. Well, in the last couple of weeks, things have changed, haven't they, Congressman Cicilline? The Republican majority in the House of Representatives is ready to unveil their new principles on immigration. They are talking about legalization of the undocumented. They are no longer talking about that people have to pack up their bags and leave. And I can tell you something, I have discussed this with many of my Republican friends and colleagues, They are clear that there is a pathway for dreamers to citizenship that is clear and immediate. I am excited about the moment in which we live for justice for our immigrant community. Pick up the phone, get on the internet, write a letter, tell John Boehner, stand by the principles that you enunciate and work with Democrats to bring about comprehensive immigration reform in the House of Representatives. Now, you know, politicians, they look at issues two ways. As something to be resolved in the benefit of the community, or as something to be used during a campaign against their political opponents. On this issue, let's make it clear to the universe of elected officials in any party that we will not allow you to play with the future of our community and with the justice and the fairness that we need as an immigrant community to the United States. Now, as long as we frame this debate and this discussion in terms of citizenship for everybody or justice for no one, we will fail. Those kinds of opposites usually lead to failure. They will lead to failure here. When I came here before, you know, my friends who I love, and they are going to provide, the Democrats are going to provide 90% of the votes. That's just the truth. We're the ones that are on your side. But unfortunately, in 2009, when I came here, why was I here? Why was I here in Providence? Because Democrats controlled the House and the Senate and the White House and refused to act to bring about comprehensive immigration reform. That's just a fact. They didn't do it in 2009, they didn't do it in 2010. So now, the Senate has done a marvelous job, right? Last June, they passed comprehensive immigration reform and they passed it because 54 Democratic senators joined 1/4 of the Republicans to pass it. So we know that. We know who's on our side. You know it. Someone died in the desert trying to cross back to America, not to find a job, but to return to their family today. We can't protect the women in the armed forces of the United States. Thousands of cases of sexual abuse and exploitation in the armed forces of the United States. And what do you think is happening to the millions of undocumented women in this country? Worse. We know that every day in America, what's happening? More and more workers go to work safe. Few of them are dying, few of them are hurt. But when you extrapolate Latinos and immigrants, more are dying and more are getting hurt. Because unscrupulous employers are using them. And they're exploiting them. I get to go home tomorrow to Lucito, my nieto. I get to go home tomorrow to my hija, Omaira. And we have to think. And we have to think and we have to negotiate. Not what is politically advantageous for the party and not simply pointing a finger of blame to the other party and exploiting the issue, but how it is we bring about justice. So that's why I was excited about coming here tonight. Because Congressman Cicilline knows about justice and fairness. He knows about discrimination and prejudice. And what happened? The Democratic members and the leadership of the House of Representatives said he needs to go to the Judiciary Committee at this very important moment, at this very critical moment. So I tell you, the stars are aligning. People asked me 5 years ago, why start in Providence, Rhode Island? Maybe so that 5 years later we could come here and celebrate with Congressman Luis.
Once again, thank you very much for the great event tonight. One last appeal to our community. What message would you send to our community in terms of supporting this action?
Look, we're real close. The Senate's approved the bill. President's ready to sign it. In the House, there's 190 Democrats plus, including Congressman Cicilline and I, that have already signed on to a bill. Boehner, he's the Speaker of the House, Republican Speaker of the House, says he's going to act on immigration reform. Write him, call him, thank him, encourage him, tell him to get the job done. Tell him allow a vote in the House of Representatives. That's the responsibility of the people.
Tell us how you feel about the support of the community that you.
Well, I think what was very exciting tonight is it was a really broad coalition. Business leaders, labor leaders, religious leaders, community leaders, all saying our broken immigration system needs to be fixed. It's hurting families. It's hurting our economy. We have support for it. The Senate has passed the bill. Now we have to pass it in the House.
What can the community do to support, and one message to all of them out there?
Just reach out to any family members you have outside of Rhode Island. Make sure they're speaking to their members of Congress, and then send a letter to the Speaker of the House. Tell them to bring the immigration bill to the floor for a vote.
Send a message to the Cape Verdean community.
Just the Cape Verdean community has been an important part of the diversity of our city and of our state, and have been really affected by many of these immigration issues. So we need to have their voices added to this conversation as well.
When was the last time you came to a rally? I want you to make a note of it because you're a young reporter, so you have lots of time to check this fact out over the years, right? You had the Chamber of Commerce and the AFL-CIO on this stage, and you had an ecumenical community of religious leaders. I mean, I think that's very, very powerful when you look at that kind of statement that's just been made here on this stage tonight here at this wonderful church.
Tonight's meeting was very, very inspiring to see what Congressman Cicilline and Gutierrez coming from Illinois to support this issue. And it's not only important for the people here in Rhode Island, but it's a national issue. And it's about time, as that letter that they read from the bishop said, that we have to love people. People are not problems, and we have to do things to keep families together. So as a Christian, as a man that believes in God and that loves people, that wants to keep families together, the congressman was very, very inspiring, but he can't do it by himself. The community has to stay active, and those that know how to pray, we have to keep praying about the issue in support of them.
This is very important. I'm very impressed by the congressman. I'm very impressed by Congressman Cicilline and how he really organized this. Obviously, there's a lot of support. Providence is a majority-minority city, and I think they're sending the message loud and clear. We need to get immigration bill passed and get passed immediately.
In your opinion, what can the community do to support this action?
Yeah, I think the congressman stated it very well. I think we need to not so much contact our local elected officials, because I think most of them are on board. We need to contact Speaker Boehner and let him know that this is important, because we really need to move our community forward. And like the congressman stated, it started in Providence. Hopefully it's going to end in Providence, where Providence would be the impetus to get this over the top.
How old were you when you first moved here from Puerto Rico? And what were some of your experiences that you felt were negative? And why, again, personally, do you feel like immigration reform?
Well, look, I say this. So in 1950, 800,000 Puerto Ricans migrated. And I really like the fact that someone spoke earlier that in the Bible, one of our leaders talked about the Bible. There's two things, right? There's two things. There's immigration. That's when you go from one country to another. But then there's migration, right? That's when people move within the same kind of geopolitical structure, right? So Puerto Ricans, they migrated. They weren't immigrants because they continue to be, but they migrated. 800,000 left that island in a 10-year period. It's 80,000 people. One-fourth of the population just left. Why? Because my mom and dad in 1951 had no hope for a future. And they came here, right? They didn't understand the language, right? They didn't have a coat. They didn't have a coat. They didn't know what being cold was. They didn't know what under 32 degrees was. They were used to 80 and sunny every day. But they came here and they challenged. And I guess my point is, my mom and dad, it's kind of like, you know, when the Irish came here, right? Ask them. None of them are here still, but read the books. Ask them, how were they treated? Poorly and unfairly. When the Italians came here, how were they treated? Poorly and unfairly. And when my parents came here, how were they treated? Poorly and unfairly. But you want to know something? In the end, their son got to the Congress of the United States, because that's the beauty of our country, and gets to stand here with Congressman Cicilline here in Providence, Rhode Island, to discuss in front of hundreds of people to come forward. We get to change. So yes, how they got here wasn't exactly with a welcome mat, but look what the country has offered us in terms of an opportunity. So I like to look at, wow, all that we've been able to accomplish. So all I say is this, look, they were wrong about the Irish, they were wrong about the Italians, and they're wrong about the immigrants today, and our country's soon realizing that.
I think this is a very important night because it's about human rights. It's about making sure that we all come together as a community to make sure that all of our children have a chance to get a good education, that all families can stay together, that we can stop deportations in our country. We need to do that, and I think that the Congressman Gutierrez tonight was just wonderful. We need comprehensive immigration reform in our country. We need to stop deportations in our country, and people should be able to live here and have that opportunity to raise their children without the fear of deportation. We can do it. This is the year to do it, and we're going to do it.
With this crowd tonight, what impression did you get out of what?
Oh, I think that what you can see is a lot of support and a lot of enthusiasm, and that's what's going on here. And I'm very, very happy to see everyone coming together to make sure to build a stronger country for all of our children, all of our children.
What can the community do to support this, this action?
We need to make sure our voices are heard here. We need to make sure our voices are heard in Washington. We can call, we can email, we can do everything we can to make sure that all of our congresspeople know that we want to vote on comprehensive immigration reform. We want it this year. We need it this year. It is time. We can do it.
Impressão de ali na reunião de hoje e reforma da imigração.
Foi ótimo, foi uma participação massiva, é pena que a nossa comunidade que está ali, ou a representação da nossa comunidade que está ali, mas de qualquer maneira esteve ali representado congressistas, senadores e jornalistas, povo em grande número, massivamente ali representado, foi extraordinariamente muito bom e Deus queira que toque na consciência do presidente Obama, do Congresso, dos senadores todos se reunirem e chegar a um consenso, resolver o problema dessa massa imigratória, unificação da família e pacificação dentro do território.
Que mensagem está mandando para a comunidade cabo-verdiana?
Participar, porque assim mesmo que se sabe o que está passando nos bastidores. É preciso que a comunidade por cima, também porque essa comunidade latina tem problema que nossa comunidade cabo-verdiana também tem, né? Que é a deportação e a unificação da família. Portanto, para isso, é preciso que as comunidades se juntem e se juntem de tal forma que façam ouvir as suas vozes.
Obrigado, Pericles.
Obrigadíssimo. Prazer.
Bom, nesse momento nós estamos ali com Varela Carvalho, membro de comunidade, membro de NobidadeTV, que te dá sempre bons conselhos, está ali nesse evento. Nós queremos pedir a sua opinião, sua impressão sobre esse evento de hoje, que você está falando na nossa comunidade. Varela Carvalho.
O evento foi bom. Lamentavelmente não tive pouca participação de cabo-verdianos, grupo de NobidadeTV que vem, e bem mais 2 ou 3 cabo-verdianos. Mas isso está deixando força de luta. Cima a senadora Gutierrez acaba de falar, às vezes alguém está imigra por necessidade. Tudo alguém está crescendo nesse país, mas país outros sem guerra, pobreza, está imigra. Portanto, nós também nos apoia toda pessoa que está ali na situação de ilegal, que merece, é claro, independente de lei, para dar a oportunidade para legalizar, para ser cidadão, para trazer suas famílias, para viver junto com suas famílias. Cima não te fala sempre, a luta continua, a vitória é certa.
Bem, então, senhores, acaba de ouvir e de hoje, nossa apresentação, ou a apresentação que toma lugar ali na São Michael, na Providence. Espero-me fica de nosso agrado, espero-me a nossa comunidade participa mais na eventos de que no futuro rock nós ouve para tudo alguém bem, para trazer nossos filhos, para trazer nossa família, para não participar, para modo, senão a nós nunca dá conta. A comunidade cabo-verdiana merece ser mais ativo na eventos cima aqui. Portanto, não tem nossos conselhos. O que nós ouvimos falar, nós passa a palavra, nós bem, para não participar. Nós hoje há centenas de pessoas ali, mas tem pouco número de cabo-verdianos. Portanto, nós esperamos que no futuro não hoje mais cara cabo-verdiano presente na lugares mora aquele hora que não foi convidado. Ali de NobidadeTV a minha Luis Gutierrez. Mas quem não esquece, NobidadeTV está dando toda semana, sábado, 6 horas da tarde, terça, 9h30 da manhã e quarta, 5 horas da tarde. Também mais importante, nós podemos ir na NobidadeTV.com. NobidadeTV.com está dando abraço para todos nós, para toda parte do mundo que está olhando. Até a próxima.